All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Hashem Shai. I give double honor to the apostles of great mercy and truth well. Salutations to the men of the Hope Land Sincere elect. This is Makazar from Train.com. Just want to do a quick edification for the elect's sake. And the name of this lesson will be How Gentiles Are Made. Or better yet, how Israelites were made into Gentiles. All right. Now, as we can see in the picture here, you have a Jake, and his wife is an Elamite, and now the two children, they are dressed as Elamites, dressed like Hindus. As you can see in the background is the look like a shrine. But basically, those two children will be what? Israelite children, because you are the seed of your father. But guess what? They're being raised as Hindus. They're being raised basically in the Hindu culture. So now guess what? Let's say this Jake, he knew he was an Israelite, but he raising his children as Hindus. Guess what? They will grow up thinking themselves to be Elamites. And then when they have children, especially the son, when he has his children, he would raise them also as Hindus if they continue in that culture. And guess what? Eventually, they would have no knowledge of their ancestry that they were Hebrew Israelites. And this is what happened to us in these last days. All right? Hence the reason you have Jake living throughout all the corners of the earth. All right? Case in point, in East India, it have a group of people called the Siddhis, which are who? Which are Hebrew Israelite foreigners. All right? But the Dravidians, all right, they think themselves to be East Indians, but really their nationality goes back to what? Goes back to Hebrew Israelites. They have blacks or Jake in China and in Japan, all right, who would forget their nationality. And this is from mingling among the other nations. As the scripture said, confusion of faces, all right. Now, the word confusion of face basically means to be ashamed. But guess what? This is a shame right here. All right? The children not knowing who they are, looking like the other nations, that is a shame. And it's also confusing that they're not looking like Hebrew Israelite of the stock of Jacob. And this is how Gentiles are made. This is why the scripture said in Isaiah 11 that the Lord coming to gather his people from all the corners of the earth. All right? This is just proof that not all Israelites will look like the father. Look at the children. The children looks like the mother, but they are the seed of their father. All right, it's all about the seed. All right, this is Nehemiah chapter 13, verse 23. It says, in those days also I saw Jews that married wives of Ashdod, of Ammon and Moab, and their children spake in the speech of Ashdod and could not speak the Jews' language, which is Hebrew, according to the language of each people. All right, let's say this was in East India, they would have been speaking Hindi. It says, and I contended with them and cursed them and smote certain of them and plucked off their hair and made them swear by Yahweh, saying, ye shall not give your daughters unto their sons, nor take their daughters unto your sons, or for yourselves. Did not Solomon, king of Israel, sin by these? Yet among many nations was there no king like him, who was beloved of his God, and God made him king over all Israel. Nevertheless, even him did outlandish woman cause to sin. Now guess what? This man causing basically selling his children to Baal. All right, to offering his children to Molech by allowing them to grow up in this Hindu doctrine. What he was supposed to do was have his woman basically follow after him. But basically he following after the woman. That's why the scripture said children are their oppressors and women rule over them. The scripture said, my son, give not thy strength unto women. And in these last days, the men of Israel are becoming so effeminate that basically they're women ruling over them constantly and steadily. But the Lord Yahweh Hashem shall raise us up, members of the hopefully elect, that through his spirit we setting things in order, that the Lord through his spirit revealing unto us that Israel would not only look dark skinned, but like the other nations, because what? We've been mingled among the other nations. And this is a clear example of it. All right, this is a clear example of it. All right, this is Ecclesiasticus chapter 26 verse 19. It says, my son, keep the flower of thy age sound, and give not thy strength to strangers. And that is what he did. He gave his strength to a stranger. It says, when thou hast gotten a fruitful possession throughout all the fields, sow it with thy own seed, trusting in the goodness of thy stock. So thy race which thou leavest shall be magnified, having the confidence of their good descent. All right. So basically, he's supposed to be planting a seed in a Hebrew Israelite woman, so that what? The children would know of their nationality. All right. And they would look like Hebrews and not like, offsprings of the other nations. All right. And being taught of our ancestry, being taught of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and of the scriptures, of the laws of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, of the prophecies, and of his kingdom. This is what we're supposed to be teaching our children. The scriptures state that you will teach your sons and your sons' sons the things of the scriptures, not teach them to follow the doctrines of the other nations. This is how Gentiles are made. When I said Gentiles, I'm talking about Hebrew Israelite foreigners. All right? So with that, just wanted to be real quick. Want to give our praises to Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Salutations to the, first and foremost, give double honor to the apostles of great men who not rule well. Salutations to the men of the hopeful and sincere elect. All right? This is Makazar from Trend.com saying stay strong. Shalom.